Interview segment number 2, taken on October 11th, 2016. And with my client, I attempted to practice asking pertinent, open, and closed-ended questions.
You've come in for counseling today. What would you like to discuss?
My roommate is having weird feelings, like mixed feelings of annoyance towards her and stuff.
Okay. And what particular things has she been doing that?
Well, she's kind of, I don't know how to do this nicely, but she's kind of an airhead/diss. And not meanly why, like, not insulting, but she's kind of has a problem remembering things and stuff like that. And especially since I have learning disability and I was in special ed, I know the drill. Everybody who ever finds that out then assumes they have it too and they need medication. And that's not true. You need to go through like a lot of behavioral stuff, and I feel like it's just annoying sometimes when they do that. And so she just assumes she has learning disability or whatever, and I'm like, you don't. And it doesn't help that I'm in the nursing field. So like, I know it's a memory problem. It's something there's definitely something there though. And she'll forget. Like we had to get new keys. Right. So I couldn't even lock my door, and I was not okay with that. I have important things in there. I have medication in there that I have to keep in a safe. So it's like, I don't want to leave my door open, and we literally had to leave it open for a week. She's lost her ID 6 times. I don't even know if that's been within how long we've been here, but that must, like, every month, like every week we lost her ID and her keys. They've been found though, and then we lost it again, and then we had to buy new ones, so that was fun. Sorry, it's in my eye. And she's just kind of ditzy, and she goes to bed really late, which doesn't bother me, but she's super sensitive to like the light, so I can't stay up and study. I have to turn my lights off that I have.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I'll do it. We're roommates, so we have to do stuff to like compromise. Okay, I'll move on. The being not able to lock my room was annoying, but like, okay, let's move on. Like, I have important things to focus on. Don't focus on that. And she'll like just let things go. Like, I'm like, did you email her about getting new keys? It's been a week now. And she's like, no. Can you please email her to get our keys in so like we could lock our door again? Because it just doesn't bother her. She doesn't mind it and stuff. And I'm just like, okay. And it doesn't help that she's an international business major. So that's like not meanly wise, but they're not at the same level as me understanding really anything. And she just is very blasé on the workload. Like right before you came, she was taking a nap. And my friend in there, and we were studying, and it's like she's taking a nap. So we're like whispering, and like she's like, you don't have to worry about it. But it's like, I'm not gonna like blast music while you're sleeping. That's mean. And so it's just very annoying in a way. Just the workload, like the work ethic, I guess, in a sense. I don't know how to explain it, but that's fun. And she's like stuck in the past, so she's just like forgetful, and she'll forget things all the time. So she loses her keys and stuff like that. So I kind of picked her to room with. She's like, okay, she's my friend. I didn't know her that well, but I picked her, and then I was like, she was going to be going to Germany next semester, and so I would get the room free. And not being mainly, but that's kind of why I picked her. So like, okay, sweet. That'll be great. And then so I found out yesterday that she's probably not gonna go because she didn't realize that they have to talk to like the going across abroad seas office and plan things beforehand and like certain requirements. And she has to go abroad. She's international business. Everybody in that major has to go abroad. You would think there's some memo that they have to study abroad and have to go to the office. But she's like, no, my counselor didn't tell me. And I'm like, not at all. Like maybe she didn't say, you have to go to this and do this. So like can't walk her through, which I feel like she has to do, or she just doesn't get the info and she doesn't. Like I'll be talking to her and she won't get it. And like I would know things before she does. Like we went to the doctors, she had an ear infection, she had an ear infection and she's like, I don't want to go pay to get money and stuff like that. I'm like, you won't, go to CVS, but you'll probably be fine. And so she had a cold, so she's like, okay, I'm going. So I had this huge test and I took her to CVS because I'm a nice person. It paid off in a sense, though. I got to see her ear canal because she had an ear infection. And so I asked the nurse, I'm like, can I see? And she's like, sure. So I got to see that, which was cool. But it was a little annoying in that sense. But she's like, and so like I would like take care of it. Like I'd be like, just get like a hot water bottle and put it on your ear. And she's like, that made it better. And she complains a lot. Like, go or don't complain. Like there's things you can do, and that is antibiotics or Advil. Or just grit your teeth and don't complain. Like, I can't do anything. I'm trying to study here. Like, shush. But anyway, the international business. So she thought something was wrong. Like, she had a feeling. And she was right. But she didn't look into it. And I'm like, they would have had to say somewhere that you could have, like, planned this out. Like, this is their main thing. Like, we have clinicals and nursing. I'm sure you have something too. Like, it's your main thing. You know you have to do it. Right. They talk, maybe a counselor doesn't, but somebody has to, like your lecturer, like. So she didn't go, and so she might not have to, and she's not trying to do anything to really fix it. She made an appointment, and that's all she could do. Like, aren't you calling or emailing? I would be going crazy trying to figure out what I need to get done before I can go, so I can still go. It's next semester. Nope, doing nothing, taking naps, watching movies. And so I'm like, she's like, yeah, and if I don't go, that means that I will have to drop my major. And I'm like, that's serious. Like, do something. Like, and I'm like, you seriously didn't see it? She's like, no, I looked everywhere because I didn't know where I wanted to go to China or Germany. So I looked on all of that information. I'm like, but did you look on what you have to do, not where you're going? And it just drives me crazy. And I'm like, okay, I gotta let it go. I have more important things to do. But it's like, seriously, dude? How do you not know? Like, how do you not know? So that's fun, but it's just like another thing that just keeps adding up. And like, she was freaking out when I was studying, I think it was Sunday night, and she was taking an online stats exam, and she did not know the information. And I mean, I've been there, we've all been there, but she didn't try to do it. Like, she knew it was gonna be bad, so she waited until like the last minute. So she was rushing on the deadline, and it was an online test. So she just guessed. Sorry. She just guessed on the answers, and then she freaks out because she got like a really, really low grade. And she's like, I'm going to withdraw. Is the exam over? I'm just depressed. I'm going to bed. And I was like, dude, I have to now leave the room now because I was studying. And I mean, I understand, but it wasn't that late. It was like 10:30. And I was like, you stay up to 2 most days. And the day that I need to stay up to 2, you go to bed early. So I had to like leave the room and go in the lounge and study. And then I'm like, okay, seriously? And then I'm like, I have to shut everything off. And it has to be completely dark. And I'm like, and it also conflicts when I have to go to clinicals. Because it's not up, the sun is not up when I have to leave. Right. I have to get ready at like, wake up at 4:30, have to leave, and it's dark. The sun doesn't come up until like 6:30. It's gonna start coming up later and later. Yeah. I need a light to turn on so I can get dressed and get ready to go to clinicals, but I can't. It apparently will wake her up.
And have you talked to her about this issue?
Mm-hmm. She's dead set on it. Just not even. No, and I was like, well, you get like a mask or something maybe, and I'm like, it's not like I'm turning all the lights on. I have like a little light on my desk, and it's not that bright. It really doesn't do much, but apparently it was enough to wake her up. I have stars on the thing. They're not that bright, and then they change colors, like so they're not like white light. They're kind of like, and that wakes her up. But it really doesn't make sense because the sun doesn't wake her up because she's taking naps and she's asleep really late in the day. And I'm more of a morning person, so I'm up at like 6 and sometimes 8, and so she does not even get up until like maybe noon. The sun's up, the sun's in the room, and it just doesn't make sense because I'm like, why can you handle the sun and not my little light that does nothing? And so like I literally use my phone light and have to like get ready and then grab everything and get ready in the bathroom. And she's dead set on not trying anything. She's like, sleep's really important to me. I will not change this one thing. And I'm like, it happens once a week. I need to get up. I will be quick. I'll be quiet. Can I just have a light? A small light? Something? Nope.
And she won't do anything
dead
that
set
one
on
day.
it. Dead set on it. She's like, I can't. Light will wake me up and then I can't go back to bed.
Have you tested it? Have you turned on the lamp?
Mm-hmm. And she said it didn't work. She was up the whole time since I left. And I was like, you didn't even try. Did you put the blankets over your head or something? And she's like, I get warm. I'm like, I'm not gonna be there for long, like half an hour. Yeah. And it's like, I'm sure I'm not even saying, oh, she also eats my food. I said she can have one cheese stick and then they're just vanishing. And so I hide it. That's bad, but I do.
And that's like, did you just automatically go to the hiding, or did you?
I talked to her, I'm like, hey, I actually like those now. Can you not eat them? I eat them. Oh, okay. And then they're like down 4. And I'm like, did you listen? And the problem is, I don't think she listens. Like, if I do try talking to her, she'll forget. Or she won't like be listening to me, or she gets distracted really easy. Like, I'll be talking to her, and so like about something, I don't even know what. And she's like, oh, I like your shoes. Mid-conversation, like mid-sentence that I'm saying. I'm like, thanks, but like bring back your attention. And it's like, I'm not your mom. I shouldn't have to handhold you. You're an adult. What are you gonna do when you're in an apartment? There's no like RA you could do, or if you didn't have a roommate. It's like, it's good for your children. Like, seriously though. And I was like, dude, you need to talk to somebody. And she's like, I can't. My parents don't want me to, because they tired of spending money on me. She has other medication and stuff like that. And so she's like, I'm not gonna do that. They also don't think I have a learning disability because my brother didn't. And they tried with him, but he didn't work. I was like, did you talk to them? Like, talk to your parents. Like, you're an adult now. You can, if you think there's a problem, step up, be an advocate, and do it. Because that's what I learned with like everything. Like, I have really supportive parents though. But even with school, if I want something with the learning disability, you have to step up and be an advocate. Especially now, even in college, they really are pushing if you are failing, it's your obligation to do it. I'm like, dude, not your mother. But yeah.
Alright, so what's the biggest issue that you've been having with her that's really bugging you?
I don't know. I feel like it might be not even like the light. Like that affects me like for a little bit. And it's like, okay, it was expected. And I told her before we roomed together, I'm like, I have clinicals, I have a nursing student, I have to leave really early in the morning. Is that gonna be was that gonna be a problem? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. And then it turns out to be a problem. And I'm like, really, dude? I warned you. That's more of the like, I don't know, maybe the ditzy kind of forgetfulness, and that's not her fault. But she does nothing to fix it, and I think that's really the big problem.
Have you maybe like recommended some things that she could do?
Yes.
To help with her memory?
Extensively. Like post-it notes. Like I've helped her even last semester when we weren't roommates. Like I'd be like, do you want the number to the special ed service program here? Do you want to talk to your doctor? That really worked for me. Like I've talked through it with her, like being like the nursing student, like the options there, and then me being in the special services and stuff like that, like those options. And she'd be like, yeah, and do nothing. And so I'm like, I'm not gonna keep trying if you do nothing. It's not my problem. You're not like my best friend or like my loved one where I have to worry, or my roommate, my friend. I care, I help, you don't follow through.
Right.
And it's the same thing with like the other stuff, like the key, losing the key. Like you lost the key, I'm not gonna hate you for it, but it's like step up. Or the roommate, like the not going abroad, like step up. You messed up, fix it. Like don't just like let the world happen around you.
So, in the past, have you had issues with other roommates?
Yes, very much so. Freshman year was pretty bad. Not that bad compared to last year, but she had a problem with her knee or something, and she had to get surgery or whatever. But funnily enough, it was similar to my problem now with the light, except it was sound. And I had an 8 o'clock class, so I had to get up early. Not as bad as clinical time, that's for sure. But I had to get up early and so I can get to class. I was like maybe waking up at 6, 5:30 tops, like, and she would get mad at me for waking her up. And and she would like cry at me. And she would call her mom and she's like, I don't think this is working or whatever. And the problem was she never told me she was having a problem. I didn't know. So I was like, what? And so she's crying at me, and I walk back from like, I don't know, it was freshman year, I don't know what happened. She's crying, and she's like, I talked to my mom, and it just doesn't work, and I was like, what? Like, what? And so apparently I would wake her up or something, but she was having really agitated sleep. By the end, we figured out that it wasn't me, it was her and her knee. She's just super like sensitive to everything because she probably didn't get her restful sleep because she was in pain. That makes sense, especially, you know, I can get that, but it's like, me for your problems. So like I would do stuff where I would pull my clothes out the night before, still have that habit, not a bad habit, but I still do. And it's like put my makeup in a bag, so it's not like a bank, so that's where I had it in. Mm-hmm. And she's like, can you maybe like on Mondays and Tuesdays or something and like get ready in the bathroom? And I'm like, no, this is my room. I pay for half of this. I'm not going to do that. Like, what can you do? And it's not my job to fix your problems without you trying to fix your problems first, which is the same thing that's happening kind of now. She said I'm not trying. So like I had one of my friends had a car and like get earplugs or something, and she was so upset or something, and like I don't even remember. And I did the research on what earplugs were good, and so like just to like appease her in a way, especially since it was freshman year, I was still not aware of I can say what I want to say. And so like we did that and it still would agitate her and stuff like that. But she would never like communicate and like be aggressive in her communication or like just talk to me. Talk to me, otherwise I don't know it's a problem and I can't fix it. Right. Fuck you, bud. Sorry. And so there was like that problem before. Luckily enough, she liked cold too, which I do. I like it cold. And so does this roommate. So it's good. So this roommate really, out of all my past roommates, is the best, even though there's still problems. No one's perfect, but on the scale. And my first roommate smelled. Oh, I know. But yeah, no, and she was always bitter because she came from a single parent, like a single household, single mom household, but she was a twin too, so she's not like she was like an only child, it was just a mom. But I have a really close family and really supportive family, and my mom and dad care, and they'll come up and bring me food and stuff like that. I think she was bitter and angry about that because you get like verbal, like, you know, like passively like anger at it. But that was the main problem. So freshman year, sophomore year was dreadful. I was with a friend who she's very, I don't know, wants it her way and only her way. And it didn't bother me when we were in class. And we were together though in nursing too. So we were together all the time. I sat with her, I lived with her, I was constant. But and when we were just friends freshman year with like classes, you get to know somebody. And I never really hung out with her much outside. So I was like, okay, this is good. She's had drama though with other people, and I should have saw the warning signs, but I didn't. And she had like problems with other people, and that was okay because it was other people. We were fine. I'm gonna have a good roommate now. I had a bad roommate freshman year. It started off, is she okay? We knew though coming in that I liked it cold and she liked it hot, so we knew that was gonna be a problem. Didn't realize how big of a problem it would be. Like war over the stupid air conditioning and windows being opening, and like when I'm sleeping, her climbing over me to shut my window. And then I can't sleep when I'm hot. It doesn't work. I get a terrible night's sleep. And it was like stuff like that. And the problem though, I didn't see it at the time, but she's very passive aggressive and immature in her way she fights and deals with her problems. Like she'll rather like destroy something you liked or like manipulate it than just flat out tell you she's hot. Like I liked water cold, so I would freeze it, and she was her fridge. I bought my fridge now, I'm not having the same problem. And the problem I think really was she was an only child of a single mom. The mom would be working, so she had it her way, and only her way. And she never had a share. And I've been sharing since I was conceived. Like, all I know is sharing and caring about like my family and stuff like that, and like thinking of others while thinking of myself. It's just who I am. I was raised that way. She was not. Like, not. And like, she got to the point where it's her fridge. I understand it's her fridge, but we agreed that we would share. I brought the TV. It's my TV. I let her use it and watch her shows. Like, roommates. That's what you do.
Same room. Sure.
She decided that she can't share a fridge anymore with me because it was impeding on her space. And it wasn't, because I was very conscious on like the amount of space. And she never used the freezer. So my mom would bring food and then I would save it and eat it because it's frozen food. But she was mad at me and didn't decide to tell me that she was so mad at me about it. So we had a line in our fridge develop, a literal line. Like you could draw a line from the door across the room up to the fridge. Could not cross the line, otherwise she would she would come back at me with something, like turning up the air or something. It would be the point where she's literally flushed. My friends who like it warm are dying of heat. I literally became like, people are like, you can't be that cold, like you just like it really cold. No, I'm not a freak in the sense of I like it in an ice box. It was literally like 80 degrees in our room. She's flushed, we're all flushed and sweating, and she's like, no, I'm cold. No, you're not. You are hot. And I'm like, seriously? And so like I'll try talking to her nicely, and she just won't. She doesn't like confrontation. She'll cry, but never like at me. But like with an adult says she did something wrong, she'll start crying.
So there was never any like coming to terms with
We
like
tried.
the heat or the fridge.
We tried working it out. It never really worked. Like I would say my piece. I would try talking to her. I got to the point where like I would cry at her because I was so frustrated at the fact of I'm trying to explain to you it's not getting in, nothing is changing, I don't know what else to do, and then I would like start crying at her because I'm like I feel so overwhelmed in the sense of like I can't do anything. I don't know. I tried talking, I tried fixing stuff, but I can't live in this arrangement. She still didn't really care. Still very passive aggressive and stuff she did. Like a water bottle, I would have it frozen, and she would be very passive, like slam the door or something. And like my water bottle was apparently on her side because I couldn't fit it back like long way, so it was horizontally in the fridge and it was on her side. She slammed the door because she was mad, and I'm like in bed sleeping. I'm like, and I would just like I'd be like, okay, ignore it. Slam the other door, like I'm like what? And she's like, nothing. Bitch, no, okay, there's something. I'm like, oh my god, okay. So we tried doing other stuff, and I would be like, I was just done. I got to the point where I broke and changed who I was, and this is like later, like at the end of the second semester. I got to the point where she did something or said something, and she was really mean to the point where I think I get hurt or something. I don't even remember. I think I blocked it out, most of the bad stuff. Just forget it. And I could actually, like, she was saying something or whatever, and I got so mad or angry, I crossed the line in my opinion, and I started calling, like, her names. I think I said, no one will love you, and something else. And I was like, I looked back and I was like, I can't believe it got that far. Like, I crossed my line of who I am. I am not that person who says, no one's gonna love you, but at that moment, I totally felt that way, and I was like, oh my god. So I was gonna apologize to her, and she took offense, and I'm like, if I treated you the way you like treated me, you would have been so pissed. And I'd be like, it really was annoying, because I was like, I tried apologizing, and she wouldn't really listen. I think that's where the parent thing came up, and for her being an only child for her mom. And I think I said something, I'm like, I think I said, sorry, my mom loves me so much, I know it's annoying you or something like that. I didn't say she was an only child and that's why no one will love her or something along that lines. Because really, it's my mom, not my dad. My dad helped a lot in making me who I was, but my mom was the main person on like the loving factor. Right. She would take care of me at home and stuff. So her mom, she told her mom, and her mom threatened me and saying, you better not let me see her again. Otherwise, she'll regret it for saying something. And she got so mad at me for saying something that I didn't say. I know what I said. I didn't say that she's a bad person or a bad child because she was a single child. I never said that word. That didn't even think to me. I was really thinking about how nasty she was and no one would love her more than she's a single child and or like not a single child, but like single parent, and that no, and that's why she was that or she's bad or something, and that's what she heard, and it happened before, right? She would listen and she would listen to something and she would hear that rather than what I said. And I'm like, she's like, I never said that you were something, whatever. I don't even remember, but it's something because you were a single parent mom. Like, I never said that stuff. I don't think that way. Like, I know, but her mom basically, and so like I was scared because I didn't say it. If I said it, okay, threaten me, that makes sense. But I didn't even say that, and I'm getting threatened for it. So I told my parents, and my parents like, you gotta report this somewhere, email your RA or whatever, because that's wrong. And I was just like so scared. So where am I gonna go? We share like a small room where she's gonna bring her mom back, and what do? I can't like go in the bathroom or go hide somewhere else. Like I'm pinned. Like yeah, it's my safe place. Where am I supposed to go? This is a campus. Like I pay for this. This is my home here, and you're taking that away. And I really felt that way with her. She would do stuff, and like it would be like such a passive, like angry, hostile environment to like sleep in, like be in, and all that stuff. So that happened. We resolved it. I thought we didn't. I said I would go and do this like amazing race with her, and then I got a really bad like period and stuff like that, and so I was not moving out of my room. I had to do like laundry the night before, and so like I emailed her and I texted her and I was like, hey, I'm not sure if I can go to the event. I know you needed somebody. If it is really bad, like, and I even talked to my mom about this because like, how do I say this? We just had this huge fight. I don't really want to go to this thing because it's gonna be. I don't feel well. Also, you would have to read stuff, and I wasn't really comfortable being put under a time limit with if I didn't know words and reading things out loud, just because I don't really allow myself to be in that environment because I can't do it. And then it would flare up more if I am in an environment like that. And so I was like, I don't want to do this. This doesn't sound like fun. I feel like, no, I don't want to do this. And so I asked, like, I was really nice, like, if you really need somebody, let me know. We can try to work things out. And I got like 3 pages of text, of long text of her basically cussing me out, saying I'm a bad person and whatnot. And I was so confused because I was like, we fixed it. It can't be about that other thing. And what happened was, I was talking to my mom, and after we had this huge fight, she got really nice and she started sharing things and like being really good and being really nice. And what I said was that I used like the analogy to try to explain to my mom, it's not there, I can't see it. And I talked to my mom about everything, and she would hate that. Like I can't talk to my friends or my moms about any problems I was having. And I was like, what do you want me to do, bottle it up? I talked to my mom, and I was like, you know, when somebody like abuses somebody, like a domestic fight or whatever, they hit them and then they bring them flowers to kind of like overly, like, feel like I'm good, I'm sorry. I kind of felt that from her. And it wasn't like necessarily bad, but it never really felt genuine. And that's what I talked about with my mom, who moved on. I didn't see any big problem with her. And then I went period, and that was that night, and she just cussed me out. But what she heard was that she was abused because of her mom being a single mom, and that she was a bad child. I didn't even say that. And so I was like, what? And so she came back, silent, or would talk to me, and I'd be like, hey, what was it? Like, I didn't even bring up the text. I was like, how was Amazing Race? Like, nothing, silent. And I'd be like, why are you so mad at me at some point? Because I was like, everything's not okay. She's fine. And then she just let it out, and I'd be like, and again, I'm getting in trouble for something I didn't say. And it got to the point where I just started crying at her because I didn't say it. I tried explaining it to her. She didn't trust me. Big problem. She didn't trust what I said. It wouldn't move on past that point. And so she finally believed me after like maybe half an hour of crying. Not really, but it felt like that. She just came by with tissue and like, thanks. Okay, she can't handle people crying, so it could be just wanting me to stop. And like a Tide pen to help like get rid of stains going well. I'm like, thanks, I did laundry already. Like, so it's not, but then it'd be like, So we didn't really have any more big fights except for later on in the end of like the semester. And it always correlated with test exams. And like she would get mad at me if I got like an A in a nursing exam. And I did. And it was really exciting. You never get nursing A's, they're super hard to get. And I got a nursing A and she didn't do well. So she was mad about that. And so she was mad about the fridge. She would move stuff around because she could control the fridge. She could control the temperature, not the nursing grade. And so it was always like a power play. She would do that a lot. And near the end, I don't really even know what the fight was. There was another fight. And at that point, there was like 2 weeks left to school. I was done. I've been with this. I've been trying really hard. She's not changed one bit. I changed what I did. Like I stopped talking to my mom. I became very paranoid. Back when the fight about the videos of Amazing Race Day and she came back and being really passive aggressive with the text, she recorded me talking to my mother through the door. Yeah, that was wrong. I don't even think you can legally do that without putting my knowledge, like without my knowledge or something, or like.
Right.
I was so mad and like it felt like violated in the sense I was like, you recorded me talking to my mom, so now I can't even talk to my mom. I just wanted to prove the fact that I could hear you outside the door. And I was like, what am I supposed to talk? I can't talk to my mother now. This is my main coping skill and how I deal with my life. My mom, what is she going to tell everybody at school? No, she's my mother. She cares about me. She doesn't care about you. Like, let me talk to my mom. And so I couldn't talk to my mom. I got so paranoid. I am still paranoid that people are going to hear me. I'm only agreeing to talk to my roommate because there's a glass door and I can see if she's coming. So I can stop. Like, I still feel comfortable because nobody hear me outside my door. And it's like I talk loud in a sense, but not really. And I was talking to my mom, so I have to talk whispers with her because somebody might be able to hear me outside the door. And we got to like that point, and I was like, But near the end of the semester, and this was like the final straw, I like my water cold. I would freeze like the big water bottles we get at school, let it freeze, and then let it melt, and then put more water in and let it freeze in the freezer. Couldn't do that in ours because it crossed the line or whatever. So I put it in the lounge, and I was like, that's agreeable. We had the RA come in near the end of the year, because I was done at that point, and I was like, I don't think it's going to work. I tried talking with you, and I think it scared her, because at that point, because I was trying to fix it.
Scared your roommate?
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was what the fight was, but there was something where I was mad. I left for an exam, and I don't know if I called her name or not. I think I feel like I did. I don't know. I was done. I was done with this. I was getting yelled at again for something so stupid. I don't even really remember what it was, but I know it was because there was nothing big or meaningful or something that I did. And I didn't realize that until after I was done with this whole situation. So I was like, I'm done. I tried working out with you. Look what happened. It doesn't work. I'm still in a hostile environment where there's a line in my fridge because you don't know how to share. And I can't sleep at night because I'm so hot because it is summer and you refuse to turn the air on past a certain point. Again, all under your control and power. I was done. And it scared her. She's like, come on, we worked out with it before. And I was like, no. I just ignored her texts, worked on a project. And at that point, she said, so I was like, okay, I'm done. We tried it by us. I emailed my RA. And so she came and tried talking to us. And she talked more with the RA because there was another person there, and it was like nothing. And so I was like, okay, I'll put some of my food in the lounge fridge. Like I'll put the stuff that I really want and then the other stuff in the lounge fridge so it doesn't impede on your space because hell, I didn't know she was still angry about the fridge. I was like, how small do you want my side to be? You don't even use your side. I eat my food in here all the time. So anyway, so I put my water in the fridge and the lounge, but then it would just disappear. I had my name on it. I said, please don't remove from the freezer. I want it to be in here. It would disappear. And I did it so often. And then I did it once. And I went and I came back. And she left. And I was like, okay, whatever. She comes back. And I come back and I see her in the lounge. And I really wish I didn't do what I did next. I went in like, hey, whatever. And I pretended to get something out of the freezer. I saw her. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to be all nice and stuff. But I kind of wish I didn't because I wanted to see if my water bottle was in there or not. I went back in later, and it was. So I know I spooked her, but I would also be taking them out. And then later on, it was removed again. I put it in like my bags, like plastic bags with the rest of my food. It would be gone. No one would go in my bag to remove a water bottle that they can't see is in there because they don't want it to be in the fridge. Who else would do that? Who would put that much time and effort into it? It was my roommate.
Did you ever like ask her about it?
No, at that point I was done. It was literally, we had a week before we were done. I was like, screw this. I'm done. At the end, I had my friends come by, and we were like cleaning up, and she was about to leave. I was like, oh wait, give me a hug. I hugged her bye, and that's it. I tried texting her over the summer. She didn't reply. I knew birthday was coming, and she was going to go like her favorite like singers thing, so it was really big. She also went through all this like problems and stuff. Like she found like her birth dad and stuff like that. So she struggled, and I would help her because I was like friends. It felt like an abusive relationship. My friends called it an abusive relationship, but I was like I tried to help her and make like be nice because I'm a nice person and a sucker. So all that, no response. I come back this year. We're in the same like major, so we're gonna see each other. Refuses to talk to me. Hi, I'd be like, hi to her, nothing, dead silence. Only two people in here, looking straight at her, nothing. She won't look at me, she won't smile at me. She would talk to my friends, like people she didn't really like even, and she'll be fine with that. She'll talk to them, and she'll be totally normal with them. The second I walk up, she'll shut down and be quiet. And at this point, I say, screw it. It'll take more effort for you than me to act like this. Again, being a child, she called me out being a child before, but I'm working on letting this go. It's hard, like over the summer even, I would get mad about stuff, like the water bottle or whatever, the heat, and it would just bring back all the anger and heat, because like I would remember it, and people would be like, just let it go. But the problem is we never really hashed it out. I literally hugged her goodbye, and that was it. And then now she won't even talk to me. And it's kind of just like, really? Doesn't this annoy your life? Like, I'm okay. I can move on happily with my life. I have way less stressful people in it now, and I have very certain few. And I'm like, I'm done. You can do what you want to do.
So we're coming to the end of the session.
I have a lot of problems.
So
with this roommate, at least.
With your current roommate that we began talking about, is there any way that you could see to help the situation with maybe the lights or?
Maybe, I don't know, because she's not that big of a problem. I mean, she does stuff that annoys me, but it's more of like a character annoyance. Like by just letting things just get worse because she doesn't want to work at it. So I guess I could, like, I'll try to like remind her or say something, be like, hey, but I don't think I'll change anything because it's who she is. But I'll try.
So maybe in our next session we can continue on with this. So I hope you have a good rest of your day.